Hare Krishna. We would like to pray to Lord Nrsingadeva and his pure devotees. One of such devotees is His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu, who had served Sri Nrsingadeva in Mayapur for around 40 years, and with utmost dedication he has done, and he has been praying on behalf of many devotees every day to get their spiritual and material problems solved, appealing in front of Lord Nrsingadeva as Prahlad Maharaj is doing on behalf of all of us. So he has been exemplary in his service. So let us actually remember him with gratitude just before starting this session. Let us start with Mangalacharan prayers. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine वागीशायस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्य च वक्षसि यस्यास्ते हृदये संवित् तन्नृसिंहमहं भजे एकेन चक्रमपरेण करेण शङ्खम् अन्येन सिन्धुतनयामवलम्ब्य तिष्ठन् वामेतरेण वरदाभयपद्मचिह्नम् लक्ष्मी नृसिंहमम देहि करावलम्बम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम् प्रह्लादनारदपराशरपुण्डरीका व्यासादिभागवत पुङ्गवहृन्निवासा भक्तानुरक्तपरिपालन पारिजाता लक्ष्मी नृसिंहमम देहि करावलम्बम् योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसूप्तम् सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरां स्वधाम्ना अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. So we are about to complete this section today of pacifying Lord Nrsimha by Prahlad Maharaj with his prayers. We are into the last section of the prayers. What we have covered so far, we have discussed how Brahmadi Devatas have induced Prahlad Maharaj to pacify Lord Nrsingadeva, and Prahlad Maharaj expresses his humility. He says that I am unqualified, but to purify myself I will glorify you. And then he says that actually all these people are afraid of your form, but I am not. What am I actually fearful of is the material existence which I am undergoing. And then he says, oh Lord, in many ways he requests the Supreme Lord to be merciful unto him and please deliver him. And then he goes on to describe the different pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And then he says that your pastimes are transcendental, and so please deliver me. And then he says that what actually I want is the pure devotional service at your lotus feet, nothing else, if you want to offer any benediction to me. And then please rule over me. And then in the last section, Lord, yesterday we have discussed till verse number 36, I believe. Yeah. So then we'll continue our narration where Prahlad requests Lord Nrsingadeva to grant pure devotional service, and then Lord Nrsingadeva says actually to give to ask a benediction, being pleased by Prahlad Maharaj's prayers. So we have gone there. So before actually going into that, I wanted to discuss a few lessons which we have missed yesterday, and then go into the section. Yeah, so we have discussed how Prahlad Maharaj is glorifying the creation aspect of the Supreme Lord. He was saying that you are Atma Yoni, having born without a mother. Sorry, Lord Brahma, who is Atma Yoni, having born without a mother from the lotus navel of the Supreme Lord. When he took birth on the lotus which has sprung from the navel of the Supreme Lord when he was in the Yoga Nidra, so he couldn't find his source. So consequently, when he heard the words tapa tapa from being reverberated, he understood that he has to undergo penances. For many hundreds of years, he has undergone austerities, and then he could have the direct vision of the spiritual world, where he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, who has been spread throughout the creation, throughout his own body and senses. The analogy which has been given as just as aroma is spread throughout the earth, although very subtle, in a subtle way. So just as a summary recap of what we have discussed, key points I have highlighted. So we heard that Lord Prahlad Maharaj has been purified by the touch of Lord Nrsingadeva. So I think someone has already asked a question on that was he not purified before? Actually, yes, the Acharyas say that he was already purified, but what has been accomplished already by his devotional service before has been manifested by the power of Lord's touch, So Prahlad Maharaj has gained Paramatma realization by the touch of Lord Nrsingadeva. Acharya say that. So it's not that he has been purified then and there. It just got manifested. The state got manifested. The state of purity got manifested by the touch of Lord Nrsingadeva. So then we discussed like what Prahlad Maharaj is actually afraid of. He is he in the verse says that I am trastosmyaham tripanavatsalah dussahogra samsara chakra kadanat. He is saying that I am afraid of the wheel of samsara. Then one may ask that, oh, we are also afraid of the wheel of samsara. So that means Prahlad Maharaj is also fearing material existence? No, actually, in the future verses, he will say that I am not afraid of the samsara. So what is he actually afraid of? He is afraid of bad association in this material world, with association with people who have actually hatred towards the Supreme Lord. So that will that actually is causing him fear, that he will get bad association, and in their company he may lose devotion to the Supreme Lord. So that is thing. And what will one attain by serving the Lord's lotus feet? So when Lord is asking, better you enjoy the material pursuit, material pleasures which your which your father has already accumulated. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that the fire of lamentation is present in all the yonis in this, in this universe. So, and I have seen my father also get all those things, but he was vanquished in no time. So I am not going to go for it. Uh, uh, and I also experienced that the remedies for the problems had only created more problems. So let me not ask for that. So then Lord is saying that, okay, I will give you liberation. Go to the sages and they will give you liberation. And they will teach you how to get liberated from this material world. Why you want devotional service unto my lotus feet? So he says that, no, I don't want that. My only misery is separation from you. So I don't, that is my only misery. Then how can I overcome that? By the association of uh, your Bhagavatas, your devotees who have already attained your service. If I serve those pure devotees, then I can be rest assured of not being separated from you. So then why I have to why I have to take their association? Because they can bring me near to you easily. So that is my desire. Then now he is saying that we also discussed how without the Supreme Lord, no remedy is effective. Balasya neha saranam pitaro nrisimha nartasya chagada mudanvati majjato now. So, without being protected by the Supreme Lord, a parent cannot save his child. A boat cannot save a drowning man. Neither medicine can save a patient. So we have this experience in this world. So the hospital industry is full of that, and so many arrangements we are seeing. We are hearing news everywhere. So all these arrangements cannot make a person happy unless one is favored by the Supreme Lord. So all sorts of protection is offered actually by the Lord Himself, because parents, the board, medicine are all, what are they? They are actually the manifestation of the Lord's energy. So unless one actually takes the shelter, the real shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Lord Himself, and who is non-different from the creation in all aspects, then one does not have any hope. So then one may ask a question: is the Lord identical with this world? Then why you want liberation? The Lord Himself is the. You are saying that the Lord Himself is this world, right? Right. So we will stay in this world. So no, this creation is the separated energy of the Supreme Lord. It is not His transcendental energy. The Lord has many kinds of energies, and this world which we are living in is actually a separated energy from the Supreme Lord. This is of His Maya Shakti, not Swarupa Shakti. This is Mahamaya Shakti. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhinna Prakritir Ashtada. Bhumi Rapanalo Apo Analo Vayu Kham Mana Buddhi. Evacha Ahankara Itiyame Bhinna Prakritir Ashtada. This eightfold energy consisting of the eightfold elements, ingredients, is actually a Bhinna Prakriti. This is the separated nature of the Supreme Lord. There is a Parastasmattu Bhavanya Vyakta Avyakta Sanatanaha. So there is a separate nature, the transcendental nature, Paraha Tasmattu Bhavanya, which is beyond the manifest and unmanifest. So that is the Swarupa Shakti of the Supreme Lord. So we should not aspire to be in connection with the material energy of the Supreme Lord, which is actually the cause of our misery here, which is being run by the power of ignorance. So we have to overcome this ignorance with the help of the Yogamaya, the transcendental energy of the Supreme Lord, and one has to situate it in the transcendental Shakti, the Swarup Shakti of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. So one has to become free from it. So then we can only get over it by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, which is actually very rare. And the Supreme Lord can only give remove ignorance caused by Maya. He only can remove the ignorance, which is the root cause of material existence, in the which is binding the jiva to this material world. So we all have this ignorance. So as soon as we have a knowledge of any subject matter, then we become fearless. So as long as we don't have knowledge, oh, what it is, how the problem has come in front of me, we become fearful. But as soon as we know that actually, oh, this is the problem. Okay. So as soon as we have knowledge, then that will actually create fearlessness for us. So, and also then we have not only having the knowledge, but to have a solution for it. So when we understand that the Supreme Lord is the Suhrut, he is the best, he is the supreme controller, he is the only enjoyer, and he is the protector and the well-wisher of me, then if we have that knowledge along with the protection offered by the Supreme Lord, then we can actually be free from all fear, which is causing us perturbed in this material world. So then the Lord may ask that, what about heavenly pleasures? So Prahlad said that, so sorry, I already saw my father get all these heavenly pleasures. If he raises the eyebrows in a very sarcastical way at the gods, they will tremble. So, but he was destroyed himself in a moment's time. So I don't want to take that. Then said that the material pleasures only give pleasure while we are hearing about them. So much is advertised about pleasure in the advertisement industry, but actually when we go and try, we have this experience of this world also. In this world also, the product which has been advertised to give us happiness will not give us so much happiness as soon as it arrives in our hand. So this is actually the pleasure is in only hearing about the pleasure. So someone hearing about someone enjoying the pleasure, hearing about the prospective pleasure which it is going to offer to us, but not in actually enjoying it. So we have this experience to lesser or a greater extent in this world also. So then this pleasure is actually like a mirage. A deer in a mirage actually sees a deer in a desert actually sees a mirage, and mistaking it to be water, it will go on running and running and running, only to break down out of exhaustion and die. So there is no actual pleasure in this world. So the fleeting happiness only creates but actually, as the mirage example is very apt here, that it will create further desire. It will run for a distance and then says, it is just only short distance away from me, let me run again. So it will create hope against hope, only to get baffled. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that we don't bank upon such kind of pleasures. Now, the Lord, this may actually give us a sense of understanding that the Lord may actually conceive of a higher or lower births. He may discriminate between the devotees and the non-devotees according to their birth. No, the Lord does not carry such misconceptions. Then shall he be merciful everywhere and at all times? No. So is he indiscriminately impartial? No. He is not like that also. His mercy is reciprocal to the extent of service, to the degree of the service he offered, the devotee is offering to him. So yesterday we discussed that he is not like a vartak either, but it is said that the Lord is not partial or impartial, but he is reciprocal. That means the devotee wants the Supreme Lord to reciprocate in such a way. So the Lord being unlimited, the devotee he can reciprocate with the devotee in unlimited ways. So that is how is the nature of the Supreme Lord. He is reciprocal. He is wanting to reciprocate to the feelings of the devotee, to the bhakti of his devotee. So how to attain that such service then? Then association is the key. Association liberates one from the material condition and gives us the opportunity for service. Yesterday we discussed a verse where we say that Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha. Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni says in the 3rd canto, where to his mother, when he is instructing him her on the science of devotional service, that Satam prasangan mama virya samvido, you have to discuss my glories. Where Satam prasanga, in the association of the devotees. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido, what will happen? Bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha. So this is actually very pleasing to the ear and the heart. Then what will happen? Shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishati. So the faith and the devotion and the experience of the transcendental bliss will dawn gradually, step by step. So there are 9 stages of devotional service also. The Adav Shraddha Tadha Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anardha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Bhava, and Prema. So there are 9 stages. If I miss any one of them, please forgive me. So there are 9 stages like that. It starts with Adav Shraddha, a little faith. Then after having a little faith, then one can actually, with a little faith, one can start by hearing in the association of devotees. Okay. So then one may ask, these all things we may have seen in the other processes also. How is bhakti different from other processes? We discussed one, we forgot, we missed one point. How to attain such service with the association. Then how that will happen? When a devotee of the Supreme Lord feels that this devotee is actually mine, then he will open the door for Vaikuntha for us. As Prabhupada said sometimes, I will open the door for Vaikuntha for you. I have a backdoor entry to you. So Prahlad Maharaj is also he's saying that actually my hope is Narada Muni, who have instructed me when I am in the womb of my mother. So I have been instructed by him. I am born in a demoniac family, but he has made me his own Atmasat. So and then he instructed me. How can I give up his service? Then then he is explaining like how this is the nature of devotional service. The karmis and the jnanis, they give up their sadhana after attaining perfection. But a bhakta is not like that. The bhakta actually remains eternally grateful to the devotee who have rescued him from the cycle of birth and death, and he wants to perpetually and eternally keep his company and keep serving him. Like we see in the example of Dhruva Maharaja, where Dhruva has actually got perfection by following in the footsteps of Narada Muni, but when he was touched by the conch of the Supreme Lord to offer prayers, what he asked was, Bhaktim nuhu pravahatam tvaime prasango bhuyad ananta mahata amalashayanam ena anjasa ulbanam uruvyasanam bhavabdim neshye Bhavad Guna Kathamrita Panamatta. So Bhakti Muhu Prabhatam Tvaime Prasango. I want the prasanga, means prakrushta rupena sanga, means I want the close association of the of whom, of the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Tvaime prasango bhuyad ananta mahatam, of these mahats, these pure devoted souls. I want their you know association. In that association, I want to hear unlimitedly of your glories, and then I then crossing over this material existence is just another step. So that's what Dhruva Maharaj has expressed. And then Narada Muni is also asking for the similar kind of association. We will not discuss upon that now. So the Lord gives utmost importance to the words of the devotee. So we also discussed when the Lord is saying that Kaunteya Pratijanihi, Prabhupada mentions in the purports also many times during in this past time, so that the Lord gives very much importance for the words of a devotee. And how is the Lord's reciprocation of devotee connected to the, we were discussing in the past few verses, where the Prahlad Maharaj is actually mentioning about how the Lord is non-different from the cosmos, how the three modes are, the Lord is using the three modes to, create, maintain, and destroy, and how Brahma was born. So why we are actually, why he is mentioning all these things? So why the Lord's protection of devotees has any connection with these things? So the idea is that the Supreme Lord appears to protect his devotees. Similarly, he protects this universe as well as the super soul. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is mentioning that point. This the Acharyas say. Showing this, he explains the pastime of creation and destruction as well. Then the Lord is non-different from the universe being its cause. So that's why Prahlad Maharaj is mentioning this point. And then Prabhupada is mentioning also, according to the philosophy of simultaneous oneness and difference, so this creation is simultaneously different from the Lord and equal, same with the Lord as well. Just as an example is given, when we talk about time, time has past, present, and future aspects. But there are different phases of time. But when we say it is a time, time encompasses all these phases. So these three phases are simultaneously equal and different from the time aspect. So, and that time energy is the feature energy of the Supreme Lord, but it is a separated energy. But the Lord is different from the time factor also. So this is simultaneous oneness and difference. So he has no beginning, middle, and end. Ishopanishad says this also. So we are continuing our narration. Today we will breeze through the verses as fast as possible. We will complete this chapter today. Evam sahasravadanaghrisirah karoro nasadya karnanayana bharanayudhadyam mayamayam sadupalakshita sannivesam Drishtva Mahapurushamapamudam Virinchaha. We were discussing that the Lord has sprung, Lord Brahma has taken birth on the lotus which has sprout from the navel of the Supreme Lord, who is lying in the water of the universe. So now what Brahma has seen when he meditated for thousands of years is that form which has possessed thousands and thousands of faces, feet, head, hands, thighs, noses, ears, and eyes. Sahasra Sirisha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठत् दशाङ्गुलं पुरुष एवेदकं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यं उतामृतत्वस्येषाणः यदन्नेनातिरोहति. So this Purusha Sukta describes this form of the Supreme Lord with the thousands of faces. Sahasra Sirsha Purusha, that Purusha has thousands of faces. Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat, he has thousands of eyes. So like that it goes on to describe. So then you are very nicely dressed, being bedecked and decorated and bedecked with varieties of ornaments and weapons, just as we see few of them in this picture. Seeing you in that form of Lord Vishnu, your symptoms and form being transcendental, your legs extending from the lower planets, Lord Brahma achieved transcendental bliss. So your so Lord Brahma saw that form. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Lord Brahma got great bliss by seeing the Vairaja or the Virata form of the Supreme Lord. Tasmai bhavan hayasirastanuvan hi vibrat vedadruhavati balau madhukaita vakyau hatvana yachruti ganamscha rajamstamascha Sattvam tava priyatamam tanumamananti. He is describing about how the Lord has saved the rescued the Vedas, which has been stolen by Madhukaitaba demons at the dawn of the creation in the form of the incarnation of Hayagriva. When you appeared as Hayagriva with the head of a horse, you killed these demons. Madhu and Kaitaba, who are full of passion and ignorance. So then you delivered the Vedic knowledge to Brahma. For this reason, all saints accept your forms as transcendental, untinged by material qualities. So Acharya is saying that to show mercy to those in goodness, he is indicated as favoring goodness. So someone may say here the word Sattvam Tava Priyatamam. Sattvam Priyatamam. So Sattvam Priyatamam means it is the Lord likes or favors Sattva. So one may say that is the Lord actually vouching, is advertising for Sattva Guna? Actually it is not like that. He is indicated as favoring Sattva Guna. It is not his inequality about that. To show mercy, although Sattva Guna is material, people in Sattva Guna are favorable for accepting devotional service or transcending the modes. So that's why the Lord appears to be favoring Sattva Guna, but it is not his inequality. So that's the reason. And the Supreme Lord's position as protector is also best perceived in the mode of goodness. Itham nritiryagrishideva jhashavatarir lokan vibhavayasi hamsi jagat pratipan dharmam mahapurusha-pasi yuganuvrittam channah kalau yadabhavas triyugodha sattvam. So Itham, in this way. In what way? He has described in the previous, as you have manifested in the form of the Gunavataras of this universe, as Lord Vishnu, as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and also the Karanodakshaya Vishnu and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, as the Vishnu forms who are related to this universe, and also those forms which are Leelavataras, which have come for specific purposes, just as we discussed right now about Hayagriva coming to kill the demons like Madhu and Kaitaba. In this way, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, as an animal like a boar as a great saint like Kapila, as a demigod like Vamanadeva, or a fish, Matsya, or Kurma. So all these things you appear. Thus, maintaining the entire creation is thus maintaining the entire creation in different planetary systems and killing the demoniac principles. Lokan vibhavayasi, to actually maintain the lokas, and also Hamsi Jagat Pradipan, who are the anti-elements for the for maintenance of the universe. You will destroy them. Dharma Mahapurusha Pasi, Yuganuvrittam. So you as a Yuganuvritta, according to the age, oh my Lord, you protect the Dharma Mahapurusha. O Mahapurusha Pasi, you will protect what? Dhamma, and therefore the principles of religion, and therefore in the age of Kali, you appear in a covered form. But Triyuga, you are considered as Triyuga only. That you will appear in only the Satya, Dwapara and Treta, not Kali. But in Kali, you appear as if in a covered incarnation. So the Lord appears only, is supposed to appear only in 3 yugas, but in the Kali Yuga, he appears in a covered incarnation. So what is that covered incarnation? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that he and the Acharyas are saying that he is the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord, he appeared with his full potency, but in a very covered form. He did not advertise himself as the Supreme Lord. He did not let it get revealed that he is the Supreme Lord, but he behaved as if he is the devotee of the Supreme Lord. So, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport for this verse, which we have discussed, that the entire Krishna consciousness movement is based on the principles of the Sankirtana movement inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what does the Lord do when he comes as an incarnation? Paritranaya sadhuna, vinashaya cha duskrutam, dharma samsthapanarthaya. He does 3 things when he comes in every millennium. Every millennium means 3 yugas, which we have discussed. So what did he do? Paritranaya sadhuna. He will protect the Paritranaya. He will very nicely protect the devotees. Paritranaya sadhuna. Vinashaya cha. He will actually destroy, completely destroy the demoniac elements. Vinashaya cha dushkrutam, who are disturbing elements for the universal administration. And then Vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanadhaya. He does not stop by killing them, but he will re-establish the principles of religion which has been lost by the demoniac rule. So this is the 3 purposes for which the Lord appears. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did in a way in the form of Sankirtana movement, which is prescribed for this age. Therefore, one who tries to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of Sankirtana movement knows the Lord very perfectly. He is Sumedasaha, Yajantihi Sumedasaha. The verse says that in the 11th canto, the verse says that Yajantihi Sumedasaha. Those who worship the Lord, who establishes the principles of religion through the Sankirtan movement, he knows the Supreme Lord perfectly, and he is considered to be the Sumedasaha, a person with substantial intelligence. Naitan manasta tava katha suvikuntanatha sampriyate durita dushtama sadhu tivram kamaturam harsha soka bhayaishanartam tasmin katham tava gatim vimrushami dinaha. O my Lord, of the Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha means a place where there is no anxiety. Vaikuntha. So my mind, you are telling that he is in the previous verse. They are telling that, and verses they are telling that the Lord protects those in the mode of goodness, and then one has to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. But my mind is extremely sinful and lusty. It does not get attracted to Krishna Katha only. So although the means for liberation are the means for gaining transcendental ecstasy in the association of Supreme Lord is available by hearing in the association of devotees, but my mind is sinful and lusty. It does not actually get attracted to Krishna Katha. Being sometimes so-called happy and so-called distressed, it is experiencing this happiness and distress in many ways during the life. So my mind is full of lamentation and fear. It always seeks for more and more. Then thus it has become most polluted and never is satiated, or by the sense pleasures it gets, or it is never satisfied in the topics concerning you also. So therefore I am very fallen and poor. So in such a status of life, how shall I be able to discuss your activities? I don't have taste. So he is expressing this in the 3 verses. He is further explaining his condition, and actually it is our condition. Jihvaikato achyuta vikarshati ma vitruta sisnonyatastagudaram sravanam kutaschit घ्राणोन्यतश्च फलदृक् च कर्म शक्तिर्बह्व्यः सपत्न्यैव गेहपतिं लुनन्ति. Jihva ekato achyuta. Oh achyuta, jihva ekato. My tongue is pulling me in one way. Vikarshati. Ma vitrupta, it is not satisfied. Sisno anyataha, my genitals are pulling me in another direction. And tvak, my skin is pulling me in another direction. And my udara, my belly, my tongue, my belly is pulling me in another direction. My my ears are pulling me in another direction. So it is like here. Oh, there is something very nice to taste. Let me go in. So in between we hear a music. Oh, there is a very nice music. Let me go and enjoy by hearing. This is very soft to touch. Let me go and feel that, and then let me go and enjoy. And so like that, the 5 senses, my nose is pulling me in another direction. Grano anyataha, let me smell this nice fragrance. Chapaladruk, vacha karma shaktihi. So my mind is agitated by all these experiences, and my karma is altogether very, very different. So my condition in this whole material existence is like a person having multiple co-wives, each pulling in their own direction to have enjoyment. Bhavyas sapatnyaiva gehapatim lunanti. So this condition of mine is certainly very embarrassing for me. So, oh infallible one, my position is like a person having many wives. So please protect me. I am being very embarrassed here. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling how the different objects, the different organs are attracted to their sense objects. The tongue is attracted to the sweets and material subjects. It is also attracted to speaking gossip of oh, what happened today in the market, and see this devotee is this doing like this. See, this person is doing like this. See, he does not know anything. So this is like a gossip, and then it also relishes in speaking lies. So many people they speak lies, so they enjoy. So this is the weakness of the tongue. So then the genitals wants to enjoy the opposite sex, and the hands, they want to accumulate wealth. And also some people are seen being very much happy when they get the first opportunity to actually hats off karna. Means as soon as they get an opportunity to beat others, they will feel as if they have become the king and they will beat. It happens even in you know in many circles. I don't want to mention them. And thus the what is the effect of all these things? I have no time for chanting. I can do all other activities, but not chanting. So this section is completed now. We are going to the section where Prahlad Maharaj says that you bestow your mercy. Evam swakarma patitam bhavavaitaranyam अन्योन्य जन्म मरणासन भीत भीतम पश्यंजनम स्वपर विग्रह वैरमैत्रम हन्ते तिपारचरपि प्रहिमूढ़ मध्या. So I am situated on this side of the Vaitarani. You are situated on the other side of the Vaitarani. It is said that when a person dies, he has to cross a river called Vaitarani. And that Vaitarani is consisting of the revolting substances like blood, urine, stool, pus, and whatnot. And everyone is put into that river forcefully, and they are made to swim across that river to actually go into the to the Narakaloka. And here it is mentioned that one has to cross this material world, so this Vaitarani, in order to actually achieve the spiritual world also. So you are always transcendentally situated on the other side of the Vaitarani. But because of the reactions of our own activities, we are suffering on this side. So indeed, we have fallen into this river and are repeatedly suffering the pains of birth and death and eating horrible things. Now, kindly look upon us. Not only upon me, but also all the souls who are suffering here in this world. And be mercy by your causeless mercy and compassion. Please deliver us and maintain us. So he's saying, Bhava Vaitaranya, this river Vaitarani is actually very intolerable for me and others as well. Please get me out of this river. Deliver me today. Please deliver me today. These people in this world, they are fools. They quarrel among each other, among their family, and they quarrel with others outside, and then they will create friends and enemies. So we are all fools in this existence. So please get us out of this pitiable condition. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's why, what is the remedy here? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing all his followers that the only remedy is to get Krishna consciousness. So it is the duty of each and every devotee who in Krishna consciousness to give the message of Lord Chaitanya, the message of Lord Sri Krishna, the message of Bhagavatam to all the people, so that they can get out of this cycle of samsara. They can get out of this river Vaitarani, which is full of horrifying substances. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amara Agyaya Guru Hoya, Tare Desa, Chare Dekha Tare Kaha Krishna Upades. Saying, by my order, you become Guru. Not that you become a big Guru by that. But Guru in what respect? Guru in the respect that I will have to help others. I got benefited by the association of devotees. by the Sankirtan movement. Now it is my duty. Bharata Bhumite hoile janma yar janma shardaka kari paropakar. So whoever has taken birth in the land of Bharatvarsha, it is his duty to deliver this Sanatan Jnana, the eternal spiritual knowledge of Sankirtana to one and all. It is our duty, it is our responsibility. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, please take up this Krishna consciousness movement first, and then you become Guru and teach others how to get out of this material world. Onvatra tekhila guru bhagavan prayasa uttaranesya bhavasam bhavalopaheto mudeshu vai mahadanugraha artabandho kim tena te priyajanananusevatam naha. O Supreme Lord, original spiritual master of the entire world, what is difficult for you? Nothing is difficult for you. You can easily do it. If you desire, you can you can immediately lift me up from this cycle of birth and death and from this horrifying river. You can manage the affairs of the whole universe. Bhava, sambhava lopa heto. You can manage all the affairs of this universe. So there is nothing difficult for you in delivering the fallen souls, and not like ordinary people. They are engaged in your service, so why not bestow your mercy upon them? You are the friend of all suffering humanity, Artha Bandhu. And for the great personalities, it is necessary to show some mercy to the foolish. Mudheshu, for the Mudheshu, Mahat Anugraha. So the Mahats should show Anugraha to the Mudhas. So Kimtena te priyajana nanusevitam naha. So you have to deliver the fallen souls. See, he is urging him. Therefore, I think that you will show the causeless mercy to persons like us who engage in your service. What to speak of those people who are engaged in your service? Kim tena te priyajana nanusevatam naha. Always they are engaged in your service. So the people who are mahas, the great devotees, they are compassionate to the ordinary conditions also. What to speak of those people who have taken shelter of your lotus feet? No, you have to deliver us now. So Krishna Chakravarti Thakur is saying, you are the Guru of all, so it is your duty to deliver, and you are compassionate also. So you have to make justice to your name. You are compassionate. You have anugraha. You are famous to be very merciful. So you have to deliver me. Now he is saying that, am I personally wanting some to get out of this material world? Am I becoming perturbed and anxious of my condition only? Naivodvijay paraduratyaya vaitaranyas Vadvirya gayana mahamritamagna chittaha Sochetato vimukha indriyartha Maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan. Oh, best of the personalities, I am not afraid of this material existence. But for wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in the thoughts of your glories and activities. So, Virya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta. I am absorbed in singing your nectarian glories and remembering them. So I am happy even in this material world. I was being tortured by my father. Still I am able to remember you. Soche tato vimukha chetasa. I am concerned about these fools who are averse. Vimukha chetasa. For what? Indriya ardha maya sukhaya. They are running after the illusory happiness of this world in the form of getting enjoyment through their senses, indriya ardha. And they are like asses, they are carrying the burden of on their heads in the form of society, family, and country. I am simply concerned for them. So Prahlad Maharaj is actually is compassionate toward the fallen conditioned souls. This is the mood of a devotee. So for his own respect, Prahlad is not so concerned. He can remember the Supreme Lord in any condition of life. But as far as he sees the predicament of the conditioned souls in this world, he is very much concerned. Get liberated. Na? Please ask for liberation. The sages will teach you liberation. So, if you are saying that you are actually wanting to get over this cycle of birth and death, get liberated. Saying that I don't want to get liberated alone. I want to take all these people. Prayena deva munaya svimukti kama maunam charanti vijanena paradhanishtaha naitan vihaya kripanan vimumukshayeko nanyam twadasya saranam brahmato nupasye. Prayena deva munaya, these saints who, because of liberating themselves, swa vimukti kama, what they do? Maunam charanti, they observe vows of silence. Vijane na paradha nishtaha, and they meditate upon you for thousands of years. Naitan vihaya kripanan, but na etan vihaya kripanan vimumuksha eko, but I don't want to get liberated alone, leaving all these kripanan, these miserly people, these lowly people who are suffering in this material world. I don't want to leave them. And na anyam tadasya saranam. So I know that without Krishna consciousness, no one can be happy. I can see no other recourse than your lotus feet. Therefore, I want to bring them to the shelter of your lotus feet. These people, these sages are having self-interest of personal deliverance, and they don't care for those people who are rotting in these towns and cities. They go to the Himalayas and meditate with vows of silence, and they are not interested in delivering them others, but I am. Yanmaithunadi grahamedi sukham hitucham kanduyanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham trupyanti neha krupana bahudukka bhajaha kandutivan manasijam vishaheta dhiraha. So he is explaining the condition of a living entity further. These people who are uncontrolled enjoyers, the Grahamedis, their happiness is actually condemnable. It actually is very tuchha, and it is compared to the rubbing of two hands. Kandu yanena karayor eva dukkha dukkham. When we use each two hands, it may when we scrub two hands, it may appear to actually mitigate the itch, but it only increases the itch more and more. Kandu yanena karayor eva dukkha dukkham. It will create only more misery. Then, but the experience is that we want to do it again and again. So this sex life is actually like rubbing the two skins against each other, and it is only creating more and more distress. Trupyanti na iha krupana. Having engaged in that experience many times and getting beaten up through that experience again and again, still they want to do it again and again. Trupyanti na iha krupana bahudukha bhajaha. They're undergoing at most misery. Still, they don't give it up. Actually, that pleasure is not in the experience, physical experience, but that pleasure is residing in the mind. Manasijam, it is springing out of the mind. Those people who actually can tolerate this itch are considered to be sober. Not those people who try to enjoy and indulge in that. Does indulgence lead to reluctance? No, it's not always the case. Some people are disgusted, yes, but some wise men do. Yes, some people are disgusted. They are said to have got your mercy, because of which they can tolerate. If someone has any questions,
question in chat from Anuradha Mataji.
So, Hare Krishna, thank you for letting us know the importance of association. And I have some questions. Sometimes when we are in association of duties, we get to hear feedback about our behavior from seniors or peers, and it will not taken well, as it hurts our false ego. And we try to relate to it to other people, then accepting it as our own karma, or this is for our own purification. We try to negate the person or association, and we blame others for the situations we are going through. How do we not blame others for the situations that we are undergoing, and accept our karma is going to give us our quota no matter what? And how do we not relate to others and accept as our purification? In short, I can understand that the essence of the question is that when we are undergoing any misery or any troublesome situations, we tend to blame others for our predicament, for our situation, and rather than accepting that as our own karma and for our own purification. Is that so? Okay, so I'll take it to be yes. Yes, speaking from a pure devotional perspective, yes, all the devotees say that na ayam janame sukha dukkha heto na devatatma graha karma kalaha manu param karanamamanantiye. So the mind is the cause of my distress. These people are not the cause of my distress. And then Brahmaji is saying that Bhunjana eva atmakrutam vipakam. So I am experiencing the results of my own misdeeds in the past. So yes, all this is right. We have to, a devotee, when he is advanced, he actually thinks like that. As Prahlad Maharaj also is thinking like that, that actually it is my mind and my false ego which has been hurt. That's the reason we are actually suffering in this world. That is what is actually an advanced devotee thinks. But we have to also understand we are a work in progress in this world. So how to make the transcendental spirituality a reality in our lives? So we need to strike a balance. We cannot simply beat ourselves up in the bathroom every time and say that it is only me because of which my deeds I am suffering. Yes, I understand that this is my mind which is creating this from the scripture. However, are we ready to accept that at this point of the time in my life? If not, if you can address it internally, do it. If you can resolve it internally, like the way we are mentioning here, yes, that is wonderful. We can do it. But if we are not on that platform, address it externally and see to make a resolution for our problem in a very constructive way. So, yes, on a level where Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahabhagavata. He's saying that material problem, material solutions can give only solutions can only lead to more problems. However, understanding our position in this world, we may have to do something which is acceptable for us at this point of time. we keep the goal of transcendence as our goal. But when we are acting in this world, we need to act practically in a way which is actually helpful in the current situation. Yeah. Does that answer the question? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, we can hear you.
No, is that acceptable? Is there any following question for that? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Chat window, Mataji has confirmed.
Okay. So, there is another question from Bandita. Is there any specific criteria for Dashavatara, as we see that many of the Lord's incarnations are not being mentioned, like Hayagriva, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yeah, the Jayadeva Goswami has described the prime incarnations of the Supreme Lord in the Dashavatara Stotra. But Avatara hi asankhyayaha. The Lord's incarnations are the waves of the waves of the ocean and the pebbles on the beach. So you cannot count the Lord's incarnations. There are many. Itham nritirya Rishideva Jhasavatarai. So the Lord appears in different times and different places according to the different needs of that particular time among different people for different purposes. So they cannot be counted. We are only discussing a few of them which are very prominent. So Jayadeva Goswami has described 10 incarnations of the Supreme Lord. So in that way, yes, the Bhagavatam itself describes so many incarnations in the second canto and other cantos as well. So and the first canto, third chapter. So there are many Leela Avataras of the Supreme Lord which are described and which are not included in the Dashavatara Stotra. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. Nisarga, I think, is that Nisarga? I don't know.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So I had a question that if one is doing all menial services like cleaning toilets, sweeping, etc., all these things, but he has a pride of his knowledge, then is he humble or is he not?
Your question will be answered in the further prayers. So one who does all these activities with pride, he does not actually gain much benefit out of it.
Okay. And Prabhuji, one more question. Why is it that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared in Bengal? Is there any speciality of that place?
Why Bengal? Why all the incarnations have to appear only in Bharatavarsha?
I don't ask about India, but I have doubt why.
Some people may ask that.
They ask.
So it is Lord's mercy if it is coming.
I am not able to say them anything. You please answer the question that why India and why Bengal also.
It is the Lord's choice. How can we say the Lord is independent Supreme Lord?
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, one more question. We got to know who was Prahlad in his previous life. Then who was Bhima, Draupadi, all these Pandavas in their previous life?
The further chapters will describe that of the life of Prahlad and his previous. Prahlad, no, sorry. Actually, we had, I think we have, if I remember, Sushant Prabhu, did we post this article about Prahlad's previous birth in our forum?
No, Prabhuji. So it was from Bhakti Charu Maharaj's article. We posted that article.
Okay, okay. So we will post that article, Mataji, about Prahlad Maharaj's previous birth.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one more question. Actually, when I got this Bhagavatam first canto, I started that first shloka. I was not able to understand a single word. Is it Mayavadi or is it supporting Bhagavatam? So I have a request, Prabhuji. After the seventh canto, please start with that first shloka of Bhagavatam along with purport.
On the first sloka of Bhagavatam, many devotees have taken classes for months together. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given many classes on the first sloka itself. And the Acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself has written 6 commentaries, not one commentary, on the first verse itself. In how one can actually look at different angles of the, with respect to each and every word. In Sanskrit, every word has a multiple meanings. So there are 6 commentaries given upon the same verse by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur alone, not other acharyas. So it is a very deep subject matter. Yes, we will address it. And if you have anything burning, you can always reach the admins like Anuradha Devi and all. They will clarify those things.
Thank you so much. Prabhuji, one more question I had. It is predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, that the Sankirtan movement will go on for the next 10,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
And later, the influence of Kali will be dominant, and the gates of Goloka will be closed also.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there no possibility for the souls to go back then until the Kali Yuga completes?
So whenever my understanding
Suppose
is
there is okay, you continue, Prabhuji.
you continue your question. You complete your
Prabhuji, so if suppose there is one devotee, actually I heard one devotee, he was very interested in sense gratification. So actually he always used to chant, but he went to Swargalok because of that. And
he went to
Swargalok.
Okay.
So it is said no that duration, I mean the time factor in Swargalok is different from ours, and there 10,000 years must pass. Then if that devotee comes back again to this world in this Kali Yuga, then how will he go back to Godhead? Because later after 10,000 years, the Kali will take this, what to say, influence, no, Prabhuji?
Actually, Anuradha Devi is saying that we will take this. We are getting delayed for Japa. So we can take this. We have more time for questions tomorrow. So we will take tomorrow. But in short, that is the risk we carry. So better to finish the business as soon as possible.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.